Welcome back, this is Dog, and we are once again looking at Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem. And if you've been following the updates to this game, it's quite exciting as we have another patch. This is 0.3.6. Came out yesterday, which would be February 11th. And of all the early access games I'm following, it's amazing how many updates to this game there are before updates to other games happen. And I don't know if this is just the approach this team is taking to having smaller upgrades, but frankly some of the upgrades have been pretty significant, and this looks like a pretty significant one. I thought we would take this opportunity to see what's in the new patch, and then we'll play for a little while. We've been kind of doing this for the last couple patches, so we'll do it again for this one. Again, this is 0.3.6. They named it the Mage, staves, and hit animations. So first, for the Mage staves, it does say that each staff will come in 4 varieties depending on its elemental type. And it'll have a different attack style: Fire, Frost, Lightning, and Umbra. And more elements will be added in the future. Using staves will let you damage the enemy while your Umbra regenerates. Because of this, unlimited power has regained its status as a proper spender, which I'm excited about. I mean, I loved the using unlimited power, but it was, in my opinion, pretty OP. I mean, you could just sort of put your points towards a lightning build, and because you were able to use that skill so frequently, it was just very, very powerful. The other thing they're doing, it says our animator has also worked hard to add hit reaction to every enemy in the game. Combat should feel more satisfying now as monsters will express pain with each blow they take. So this is huge. These kind of changes make all the difference in your moment-to-moment experience, how immersed you feel and how impactful the things that you're doing, how much feedback you're getting from that. So visual and hopefully audio feedback as well. We've made a number of changes in order to prepare for big upcoming updates, including new enemies, armors, a complete rebalance of the game, and more. You'll find the changelog below. Have fun. And if you are following this, you saw a couple days ago, before this patch came out, they introduced one of the new enemies they're adding to the game and kind of showed us some, I think it was an orc that turns into something else. I don't remember what it was, but it looked pretty neat. So again, they're adding lots of things. We won't read all these, but there's several visual changes. For the UI, they fixed where ring item comparison was not showing when you're looking in the player chest. Housing manipulation changed. A lot of audio changes, which I'm excited about that. I felt like there were some moments where audio just wasn't quite syncing up correctly. New animations. Then gameplay. Looks like lots of modifications, some new things as well. And of course the staves that they talked about before. And so some other things here: active skills, fixes, some passive skills changed. So let's just jump in and kind of see what all these changes add up to. We'll see how much we actually notice. We have a level 1 character, and we'll try to play towards using those the new staffs they've added. Obviously, this is a game that's in alpha, an early access game. It's available on Steam, and if you haven't been following it, this is one of those early access games, at least for me, I think is worthwhile, whether you actually go ahead and get it early or at least just follow it to see kind of how the development's going. Even in its current state, it ranks up there for me as one of the more fun action RPGs. So, you know, I've toyed with the idea, and I know this isn't original, but I've toyed with the idea, kind of sort of my personal, like, if you like Diablo, here's 5 other ARPGs you should check out. If I was doing that, I would already include Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem in that list, I think. I mean, I'd have to sort of look at the options there, but I'm pretty certain that would be the case. Okay, let's go ahead and get to our sounds, because they may be music. We'll turn music down. The music's fine, but I want to more hear the ambience and sort of the background. So let's change that. I'm going to turn my volume up a little bit, see if I can hear it here. Just want to pay close attention both to the visuals from the hit animations as well as the audio cues that we'll get. And let's just kind of get through this early start pretty quickly. And in this game, you can rotate the camera with middle mouse, as it tells us. Yep, that looks pretty good. Each weapon type has its own attack. And the attack will show up on your left mouse button and right mouse button as well at times. And then you automatically start with unlimited power, which it is now correctly being used as a spender. So they have fixed that. This is where it should tell us, yeah, it's telling us that lightning is more effective in water. And then fire and burning effects are, of course, less effective in water. So as you see, when we're using unlimited power now, we actually are seeing the Umbra side go down. So that seems to be working as intended. And so we made our escape. At least the way they have the beginning of this game set up right now with the quote-unquote the escape, it seems like it's going to be a sort of a slow, kind of easily get you into the game. But unless they've changed the balance, what we'll see here pretty quickly is it actually gets very difficult. So one thing that's neat about this game is you do pick up, and you can tell it's early access as all of the text hasn't been added in yet, but you pick up skills out in the world from opening chests or killing things, whatever, however you find them, and then you actually have to learn those skills. So I believe there's randomness to what you get, so especially in the early levels, you may not be able to pursue the build that you want to pursue based on what skills you do pick up. And automatically add that to our action bar. Right now we can have up to 4 skills slotted. And we'll probably have to get to level 3 or 4 before we start seeing too many of the weapon drops. So we'll click through the quest here. We're not going to spend time on these update videos of trying to get into the lore or the story. We'll save that for a future release or closer to release time. Yeah, so back in the day, you could just use that unlimited power pretty much without stopping. Now you cannot. You only can use it until you run out of Umbra, which is their sort of mana system. Here comes the big guy. That hurt. So it looks like we're not building back Umbra at all. Even when we hit with our torch there, it's slowly building back up. So I guess you have to wait a certain amount of time for it to start building back up. Alright, so here comes our help. Our help in time of need. And that's basically the tutorial. And now it kind of puts us into the actual area that you will be in for the game. Alright, so we need to go find the assault location. I don't think we go down this way. It's just showing us the lore master, which allows us to reset our skills. For the quest, we actually come up this way. And it's going to lead us back down and around. We'll get a travel point, and we will eventually just be able to go down more quickly. So this game does fit into the ARPG category, very much a loot-based game in the same vein as something like Diablo or many of the other examples of this. Shoot. All right. So here's the waypoint that I was talking about. So now we'll be able to go, if we look at the map, we'll be able to go from that area where the sort of the town is down to this first waypoint. Here's the stash that we were supposed to get for this quest. And when we clear these guys up, we'll see which weapons we want to equip. So this is doing very little damage. So this is the most damage we have. Both of those are one-handed weapons, so we can equip both of them. And we're supposed to report back to Luther. It looks like everything does. My experience has been that everything kind of levels with you, it seems. So you can kind of stay out and level up a little bit, or you can just kind of continue to follow these early quest lines. At least with, and now we're supposed to return to town, so we can use the waypoint. With the way that the current structure is, you'll sort of run out of quests. I don't know, maybe around 8 or 9, I think, if I remember correctly, but we'll see. I don't know if we'll play that long today or not. But so we hit level 2, and this is where sort of the interesting things start coming into play. We can choose how we want to apply our points. We get 3 points here. We can put them in strength, dexterity, constitution, and power. We're probably going to go on a fairly heavy power build. But the other thing to look at is the Gates of Fate, and this is going to be basically your skill tree. And we're going to go in the direction of an Arcanist, because we are hoping that we will be able to find some of those new staves. And what we'd like to do is end up, I think, I'm trying to remember, see if they've changed how this is. So instead of going in this direction, we'll probably go in this direction, which can take us over here if we want to especially focus on lightning damage. It depends on which type of staff we get, I guess. We can make that decision down the road. But right now we have 3 points, so let's just go towards straight down the line. And this first one gives us 9% to spellcasting speed, and then we get cooldown reduction +3 to power. We'll go ahead and confirm that. And let's also go to our character build. See, our power has jumped up to 9 based on the points we've put in. Strength increases our damage and critical damage with weapons. Dexterity, dodge and critical chance, and movement speed. Constitutions are going to be our health and how we recover. So it's worth getting some points in all of those. I think we'll just go straight down, since we'll be getting a lot of benefits to power just from the skill tree we've chosen in being an Arcanist. So that's kind of how you choose your class, is where you start putting your points in the Fate, their talent system. Alright, so now we find the river near Amarth. I think we probably could do the fast travel, but since it's telling us to go this way, we will actually go this way. I believe last time I played this, they still did not have a shop in the game, so there was nowhere to sell your gear. But we'll confirm that's true maybe next time we come back to town. I think it appears that it's set up so that you don't get access to the shop until you're 3 or 4 or 5, somewhere in there anyway. So we're supposed to go find these ferns. This is going to allow us, I think, to get a health pot crafted. So we can get that. So here's that fast travel we could have come down to. But we're going to actually just walk it out here. Okay, you see on the mini map in the top right of the screen, it shows you where the fern locations actually are. Pick those up. We've got one. We're starting to see a yellow colored enemy, so a little bit stronger enemy than the whites we've been facing. There's our second fern. And let's see if it auto-equipped those trousers. It did. Okay, so now we can go back. We'll stay out just a little bit here. I don't remember if it lets you pick up more ferns than you need. It might though, yep. My experience has been that you get to a point where you do sort of need to spend some time finding better gear, leveling up a little bit, or the quest to go. There's a shirt that we'll be able to put on. The quest where you go to the old ruins is very difficult if you haven't gotten somewhat of some lucky drops at that point. If you were to make a beeline for that quest, it's pretty hard, I think. At least it has been. I don't actually see where... Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, look at these turtles. It's cute. The game looks good. Game looks good. So again, so far no more skills have dropped, so we're still, the only skill we have is the free one we started with, and then that first one that you always pick up, which is the Frost Nova. If you've played WoW, you're familiar with, or many other games, you're familiar with Frost Nova. So we picked up some shoes now, so at least we're filling out our basic slots of armor, as minimal as they may be. Okay, so it's got us going back. We'll take the fast travel. It looks like we can't get around to it this way. We'll have to go around this boulder. I don't know. It says there's a path there. Maybe I just didn't get to the right part of the path. Alright, so we'll turn that quest in. So that's going to hit level 3. We did get a healing pot there. So this is where we're going to find the old runes. And at least in my experience, we're going to need to... So we've got 3 more points. I think we definitely want to put it in Constitution. Maybe we'll put a couple in Power. Just get an early boost to our Power. Alright, so now we've got choices. +5 to damage and 3 to Power. +10% to generation. So we'll go to the Power route. This one, these big ones are usually pretty big. +5 to Constitution. I kind of like that. This passive skill is not implemented yet, so it doesn't actually cost us. Let's see what this is. About Rage Globe pickup. Umbra Globe. +3 to Power. That's going to help us generate and gives us power. So we'll go here and then continue to make our way down. We want to go on a pretty direct path down to the lower skills because they tend to be the more powerful ones. Alright, so... Uh-oh, did things crash on us? Looks like it may have frozen up. We'll wait just a minute to see if it responds. We can always restart it real quick. Alright, we'll just close the program. It should have saved our character progress though. We'll find out pretty quick. So let's see if it's here. Yes. So it did save, so we should be able to pick right back up. We're planning to update the game at least twice per month. That's amazing. The character wipes aren't as annoying at this point in the game because they've only developed sort of story and the leveling progression without grinding, at least, to, you know, a pretty early stage. So if you're leveling all the way to 20 or 30, you're kind of having to do that through not through questing, basically, not through learning the story elements, because they haven't implemented all that yet. Alright, so let's see. We need to go accept this new quest. So it looks like it didn't quite save our skill point decisions. We went here. I know we went there. Oh, and we went here. Okay. Let's go down to here. And again, it's sort of decision time. Maybe we'll start heading towards the old runes and see. I'll be able to tell pretty quickly. Actually, I think maybe we can keep going this way a little further. We do have to take a left at some point off the path to get there. So, one thing I wanted to test is, I believe if you hit Alt, let's see if it's Alt. Yep, everything shows back up. So it disappears. The things you can pick up do disappear after a few seconds, but when you hit Alt, it'll pop back up. So a little better. 7 to 10. This one's 6 to 8. I think we'll just use that. This one's a little faster, right? Yeah, we'll just use the axe. That's fine. So we have lots of rage built up, but no... Okay, dual slash does use rage, I guess. So we can use that to build the Umbra back up. If I'm not mistaken, let's see, how do you use... Oh yeah, it's... Alright, so Q uses... I don't remember... I don't know why I don't remember this, but I don't remember what you... How you get the... okay, belt item Q, W. Okay, so W is actually the second one, so our second health pot will be on W. Alright, so here's the big guy. We may have to kite him, but I think we should be able to handle this. Or at least it appears we will. We need to use our dual slash here some. You do have to watch your health in this game. It can go down pretty quickly. Oh, there's a staff of fire. That's the first staff we've seen, and let's equip it. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's got some combo. I like that. And it counts as your rage, so you can build your rage up by using your staff. So I really like that. And there's a wooden crossbow. You know, last time we did this, we tried to play more of a ranged character, trying to go for like a bow or a crossbow, and it took us so long to find the crossbow. Alright, so we'll head on up here. Oh yeah, something else I forgot. You do level up your skills in this game, which as they level, they do more damage. So that's pretty neat. We're going to go ahead and... Actually, let's do this side first so we can see what we end up putting in here. I think we want to continue in this left direction, but let's make sure. So yeah, that's going to be based on your strength. We're not going on a strength build at all, so we're going to go... Well, we have to go... Oh, we can't reach that skill yet? Oh, here we go. 6 to power. Plus 1 to power. So we'll go there. The only question is, do we want to... I think we'll just keep going straight down. Oh, did we get 2 levels there? We did. Okay. Oh, we have to go this way. How do we get to here then? Okay, this isn't working the way I remembered it working. So do we have to come down? I thought it was gonna, I don't know why, I thought there was a way to get over to that. Where does this come from? Maybe if you go to here. So maybe we start coming down this way. It's just not going to help us with our staff at all to go in that direction. Okay, well maybe we'll just fill out. Does any of this help us? This is all like strength stuff, right? That's going to be dexterity. Huh. Okay. Well, we'll just fill some stuff out. There we go. And we were gonna... Did we get anything? Well, we're not gonna use a mace, are we? This is another small one, and we don't have an empty belt slot. Alright. Yeah, I really like what they've done with the staff. It is just super fun. A really good addition. I don't know why, but we're like not hitting these guys. There we go. Okay. And I believe there is a like a dungeon kind of place we can go in here. Yeah. So we'll do this and then we'll head back up to... Ooh, it put us... There we go. I guess we tried to go in the wrong direction, didn't we? So we'll see how hard all this stuff is. As you see, our health is kind of melting all of a sudden. We gotta stay back. I don't think we have to pick up whites anymore. Unless it's a possible staff or armor upgrade. I would really like for them to see them add, and this is like just a totally quality of life thing, but I've just gotten used to in some of the action RPGs that allow you to have either pets or companions that will go and just like pick up all the random gold and stuff that drops. That'd be really nice. Of all the playthroughs I've done in this game, this is the longest I've gone without seeing additional skills drop, which is quite limiting. It also hurts because we're not leveling those skills up already. Speaking of leveling up, we leveled up our unlimited power again. So we can go put some more points in. Maybe we'll go more into this, the heavy armor side of things. A mage tank. We could do that. Okay. Keep exploring here. Okay, we don't have the key to open that door. So I'm pretty excited about this patch. I think what they've done with the different staffs looks really cool. I definitely think that the combat and the hit animations and all that seem to be smoother than it's been in the past. Better feedback to the user. Look at this yellow. It's hard when you get a legendary or whatever they're going to call it in this game. It's hard to not like want to use it. These guys have just stopped moving for some reason. So it appears as though it's really difficult to actually damage something with your staff when it is right in front of you. It also looks like your AoE attack is not always hitting one enemy if it's just one enemy you're facing. So let's see what this orc sword is. Of course we can't do it offhanded. 1 to 3 frost damage, freeze enemies chance. It's a pretty good sword. At level 6 to get something that powerful is pretty exciting. Alright, this place is really opening up. Oh, here's a chest. We'll leave the white, so we just pick this up. Try to stay with the staff if we can. The staff is just not doing much damage at this point because it's we've had it for so long. Let's see what would happen if we did this. The shoulders give us rage generation and lightning damage. Oh, here's the key that allows us to go. Yeah, I believe the sword is probably doing a little more damage. Oh, we almost bit it there. Yeah, because we're not set up to get up close and fight like that. Kind of a dangerous way to go right now. This is a rage potion, so it restores rage. I think that might have been, I'm not sure if the rage potion was new, but they definitely added more potions in the last patch that we looked at. I think if you release it with the meter like all the way up, you do the maximum possible damage with those abilities. So we've picked up 2 bracers now. Alright, so here's a frost staff, so we can at least try that, right? It does not very much damage either, but we can see what the animations look like and how it impacts enemies. That'll be a good experiment here before we wrap this up. Another chest up here, it looks like. Alright, so let's drop some of our whites that we have. Especially the weapons just take up so much room. If we hit Alt, we can see everything again. Alright, we picked up the blues. Oh, is that a staff? It is. So we have a staff that actually does more damage. I do want to see what this frost staff does before we equip that, though. Because it's back to a fire staff. So let's walk back to where that room was. I think we have a key that'll let us in now. Yep. Yep. That's really neat. So I'm assuming that the Umbra staff will end up being more like what maybe traditionally would look like an arcane. Oh, here's an orc champion. Right, let's freeze him so we can get back and do some staff damage to him. Oh yeah, we don't have that dual weapon second ability yet, because we can do it right now because we're using a staff. And he's down. I could be mistaken, but I think this is going to actually take us back to town. So let's see what's in this chest. Another yellow. So at this point it would be kind of fun. Okay, so these are rares. The yellow is rare, not legendary. I think orange is actually legendary, and I have seen that before, but you could go dual wield with these 2 yellows. That would be pretty powerful. You would just sort of need to change the build up if you were going to do that. Okay, so there it talked about talking to the store owner to sell things, but he says he's still under construction, so it doesn't look like that's something we can do yet. And it shows our objectives now is talk to the house master, talk to the portal keeper, and explore the world. So this is where, this will be a good place to wrap up, but this is where you basically, and that's the house thing. We're not going to get into that. We've looked at the house stuff before. They do have a pretty neat little housing system. And we're not going to do a bounty this time either, but this is a fun way to level. You basically create these portals, you go inside and you just fight enemies, basically just explore a dungeon and fight the enemies. So that's pretty neat. You can reset your Gates of Fate here by talking to the Lore Master. Right now they don't charge for that. I assume in the full release of the game that would be something that you have to pay in-game currency for. And I think that's pretty much it. I think we should... Oh, is this an actual merchant? Maybe this is. You see the symbol on the mini-map that shows the merchant? Okay, so I didn't know this was in the game. This could have been here for a long time and I just didn't realize it. So he sells stuff. So we could get a look at... We have a lightning staff, but I want to see what the Umbra... So let's sell the stuff we've got that we're not going to use. And let's just see if we can tell what these look like in terms of what their damage will look like. Let's try the Umbra one first. Again, I'm just assuming this will be something like an arcane magic dealing ability. We'll just go out into the world here. This will be the last thing we do before we wrap up this early access, early look at Wolcen. Just want to see what the staves look like since we've got some new staves. We'll have seen them all after we check out Umbra and Lightning. If we walk far enough, we'll get to some new enemies here. I hear them and now I see them. Okay, so that's the Umbra one. I like that. Oh yeah, that is actually pretty cool. Wow, that might be my favorite one yet. The sound it makes is pretty interesting, but I like the graphical. Oh, it's like creates a damaging portal at their location. This one seems, it could be my imagination, but it seems to like track enemies a little better. Look how many enemies we have up here. Wow. Alright, let's go ahead and look at our last one, the lightning. That's pretty cool too. Let's hit Alt to make sure none of this is stuff we would want. Okay. So again, if you're going to just really go towards a straight lightning build, you could synergize that with having a lightning staff as well. Seems to be working really well. I am really impressed with what they've added in terms of the staves. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the updates. So, and this would be going into another dungeon here. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up now. What we may do, and please feel free to leave comments if you would like to see this, but I'm excited about like where this game is right now in its development and continuing to get so many updates. So we may actually do a let's play video on this and actually go, you know, we made it to level 7 here. I think you can go all the way up to level 30, so we may just spend a couple hours sometime and just see how far we can get, do a lot of the portals and kind of explore the whole map. I mean, you see there's a huge map here, different types of enemies all over the place, so maybe we'll do that soon. But as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, I am out.